What's up, everyone? It's the interview queen Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat. What's up? True Heel Heat. All hands is on me.
Hey guys, it's Dustin Rhodes and welcome to True Heel Heat.
Hello, everyone. It's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble episode 185, from Old Men to Hangman, discussing the February 12th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite as only we can. And to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the man of 56 going on 57,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling and his fantastic Yankee fitteds. He is Jimmy Macram. How are you doing?
Hello, ladies and gents. How the hell are you? Where are you? You're not in the same place.
I am in the UK. I literally told you this before we went live that I took a flight last night.
Yes, I heard the flight. I didn't hear where.
Oh, I've been telling everybody and you for weeks that I was heading back to the UK.
Name once during these 3 weeks or however long it's been that you said you were going to the UK. One time.
I mean, when Donald Trump got elected, I said I was going back to the UK.
I said 3 weeks.
Okay, when he got inaugurated, I said I was going back.
I said 3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks. What? No, he was inaugurated on the 20th. He was inaugurated on the 20th of January.
6th, 27th. I'm going in reverse.
Yeah, that's 3 weeks.
28th. No, it's not. It's the 13th. 7 days ago was the 6th. That's 2. And then that's the 29th. That's 3. And the 22nd. That's 4 weeks. Where you been? Come on.
What are we talking about? This guy and his logistics. How he did that math was ridiculous.
Hey, I can't help when numbers work. I said 3 weeks.
He meant exactly 3 weeks. I didn't mean 3 weeks in a day because that's the only difference.
I didn't say 24 days. I said 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Oh my God. I do love doing this show with you because you bought me more than anyone, sir. Appreciate you for that. But we appreciate all of y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Let's drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys. Hear your thoughts on last night's AEW Dynamite as only we can. Well, I do. I don't know about Jimmy, but I do. I appreciate y'all for joining us and giving your thoughts on last night's AEW Dynamite as only we can. Appreciate y'all for joining us for that. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought about last night's AEW Dynamite. We already got in the chat with us today, Eric Isaacs, who says, hey, THH fam, the MJF Hangman war has begun while the Cope Mox, Harley Monet, Swerve, Ricochet, and Tony Mariah feuds continues and can't wait for Stat Daddy Chris versus the Muscle Goddess Megan. Right. I didn't know that was their nicknames, but that's good nicknames.
Yeah. What? You sound like, what's the dude with those armpits?
What? Film Nation.
Thank you.
Film Nation. Yes, I remember that. He hasn't been here in a while. Yes, that's true.
Thank God. Ugh. Keep that shit to yourself.
You pervert. Yeah, you pervert.
You creep.
You sick freak. You creep. Oh, yeah, good times. Phil Nation, top shout outs to him. He's probably like been watching, but like not been commenting because he gets freaking trashed.
Lord, he can't comment because his hands in his fucking pants. Keep it together. Jesus Christ.
We also got I Make Beats in the chat. Says, sup, THH fam. Miss Dynamite, but here for the review. Let's get it. Appreciate you, good sir. We got a couple of people who recognize the background saying I Make Beats saying back in sunny old Britain. It was pretty cold when I got off the plane. I was hoping it was sunny. We got Eric Isaac. It says, enjoy your visit down under, SP3, my man. Not down under, just across the pond. Across the pond. We got I Make B say, we appreciate you, THH. We also got Proprietary Finisher complimenting those nicknames, saying those are great nicknames.
Okay.
And we got Chuck Berries. He says, what's good, THH fam? So Romeo runs away from the grind and SP3 runs away from the bullshit. That sounds about right. LOL. I didn't run away from the grind. I've been here. I was at my Fightful gig, even though I'm on like 3 hours sleep. Jimmy's like, I'm always on 3 hours sleep. I live on 3 hours.
That's life. life. You have responsibilities. Yeah, you got kids and jobs. I've got random YouTube videos at 9 in the morning.
That have no time to like be out. You can just do it whenever. Like,
I just take a nap in the middle of the day if I feel like it. Well,
do I want to make a video today? Maybe.
I'm passing this.
What are you watching right now on your channel?
What was I gonna watch yesterday? Oh, Invincible season 3 dropped. I was gonna watch that.
I've been hearing good things about that. I suggest if you like cartoons though, the new Spider-Man is great. The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah. It's a different Spider-Man adaptation. They're not doing the same beats that every Spider-Man adaptation does.
I don't know. If I'm not sure of anything, you can live up to a Spectacular Spider-Man, which is one of the greatest things I ever watched.
I've heard about that. That's what one of the reviewers that I watched was like, this is up there. They said this is up there with Spectacular Spider-Man. I was like, oh, I've never seen that. I should check that out. So,
all right, I gotta watch.
Yeah, it's really good. I like the dynamics. Norman, I like that it's a different basically multiverse from the Marvel cinematic universe. Because I thought it was just going to be Tom Holland before we met him, basically. Right. Basically, Tom Holland pre-Homecoming, but it's not.
Give it a shot. Oh, that movie comes out soon. Captain America movie.
Yes.
That one these days.
You looking forward to that?
Not particularly, but I will watch it if I have to, I guess.
Why you not looking forward to it? You're not into
Marvel,
Red Hulk?
MCU just kind of died on me. I'm not sure when exactly.
I really feel like
now I'll watch it if I can get it.
MCU is really like it's about certain characters now. Like I was hyped in 2023 for the third Guardians movie. Guardians get me hyped. I was hyped in 2024 for the Deadpool and Wolverine movie because I'm a big fan of Deadpool and Wolverine. Every other Marvel piece from like the last 5 years, it's really the last 5 years. It's been about the characters. Like I got hyped for Spider-Man: No Way Home. I even got a little bit hyped for Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, and then that shit let me down.
Yeah, I did love Wanda, and boy, it really went for it. What was that?
I was like, it looked like they were teasing that in a commercial, but it's just like you kind of expecting it back in. It's like they're not gonna keep her the heel the whole movie, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, she died. Okay, cool. Oh, all right. That was the direction to take.
Yeah, I want to see Fantastic Four.
Yes,
that is. It's from July, I think.
Yeah. Did you like the teaser?
I did. I thought it was very well done. I don't know how I feel about them keeping things voice normal. It's a choice, I suppose. But hey, I like the casting. I thought it looked really good. It'll be a good movie. I'm positive about that. Once we get
Pedro Pascal plays more of like the smarter side of Reed Richards,
which I like. As long as you get that part right, I'm good. The smartest man on the planet makes Tony Stark look like a fucking idiot. That's Reed Richards in a nutshell. Gotta do this right. Please and thank you.
And that's an actual factoid, folks. For anyone who didn't read the comic books, there is a comic series where Tony Stark basically makes everyone as smart as him, and Reed Richards becomes dumber.
I love that part. One of my favorite things. What's the last line? Oh, I think I just became dumber, which is perfect.
RJ Finisher saying great parks and recreations reaction videos, by the way, Jimmy.
Thank you, brother. I love that show. That's a fantastic show.
I never got into that one.
Same, but it turns out it's fantastic.
I don't even know like what type of like traditional shows I'm watching Abbott. I keep up with Abbott, but most of my like TV viewing is like reality television. Like Traders is like the greatest thing that's happened in reality TV this year.
I don't know what that means. What is Traders?
Traitors is basically we've come up we've done everything in the reality genre that we basically have a show that has become the #1 reality show. That is Clue. It's basically a murder mystery, but basically at the start of the show, they pick certain people in the house to be the traitors, and every night the traitors get to meet up. Only they know who the traitors are, and they kill a cast member. And then basically, the following day, you learn who got murdered. You go through a mission to basically create the pot for the winner at the end of the show, and then they do a round table where everybody basically is like, this person's suspicious, and then they do the votes, and that's how they banish one of the cast members. And they're looking to banish a traitor, but most of the time they're wrong, and they just banish one of the faithful. But the US it's two different versions of it, because the US version uses mostly reality TV stars. Like this most recent season had Nikki Bella on it. Nikki Bella, the last season, I don't know how familiar you are with Real World or The Challenge, but last season CT from Real World and The Challenge, he won the Traitor season with one of the other girls from Real World. And then the year before that, it was a Survivor win. So it's like all these different reality shows are brought into one house for this show. And it's incredibly entertaining.
So they kill somebody and then they try to guess and then yada yada. But like if they don't get the traitors, what happens? Do they kill somebody else next week?
Basically the same process all over again. So after the round table, if they choose, like, so 1 week they voted out Nikki Bella and she was a faithful. So that night the traitors got to meet up and they got to figure out who they wanted to kill next. But the weird thing with the US version of it is a lot of times the last 2 seasons, the traitors be betraying each other. So like this season, they got one of the greatest Survivor players of all time. And they introduced him in the first episode, Boston Rob. And they were like, okay, if any of y'all want to shake his hand and bring him into the game, you then have to choose someone else to take out of the game. So he has the reputation of like being one of the greatest Survivor players. So nobody shook his hand. So that later that show, they like brought it back and the host was like, okay, you're coming in as a traitor. So the next mission was him and then 2 other people from Big Brother and The Challenge came into the house and they were basically new entrants, but everybody was like, okay, one of y'all got to be a traitor. But it was basically, it basically works like that. And Boston Rob, basically saw that Bob the drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race was like the leader of the traitors. And he tried to put suspicion on the new guys coming in. So he got the whole house to turn on him and got him voted out. Watch it. Oh, we got Ace who says,
I think I just became dumber.
Like I just became Tony Stark. Oh, we got our first super chat donation. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. We appreciate you, good sir.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Chuck Berry says, do you guys have higher hopes for Ricky Starks? Yes, this is our first show that we're doing after the WWE debut. The Revolution was televised on the CW as Ricky Starks showed up on NXT 1 day after his release from AEW was announced. What did you think about the debut?
First of all, I'm just happy he's free. That's number 1. I didn't care where he showed up as long as he was out of the nigger hole, and he finally made it out. Props to Ricky. You hung in there. You didn't trash the place. Good on you, because I would have burned that place to the fucking ground. And the NXT debut was good. I like that. It wasn't the same as all the rest. I think NXT is the right place. Not because they need help. I don't care what the fuck NXT needs. It has nothing to do with me. But Ricky Starks gets time. He can showcase his talents for the next, 6 months to a year. Then get his bump. I'm here for it.
Yeah, he's probably getting like a main roster deal to be on to be on NXT, where he's going to be one of the top stars. But I know you just said you don't care about what NXT needs. This is like the biggest like slam dunk decision WWE's done with a recent signing, because it's something that both sides need. NXT desperately, they literally did a main event angle with Tony D'Angelo and Shawn Spears. That show definitely needed someone like Ricky Starks. Like, if you're main eventing, if you're closing the show with Shawn Spears and his faction consisting of Virgin, Brooke Zenson, and Ivan Drago, or whatever his name is, the third guy, I don't even know. Izzy Dame is the best part about that new stable, but that was your closing angle. You need Ricky Starks. And Ricky Starks needs to be presented as an absolute superstar. So he needs to be on NXT, where he should be one of the top stars. So it works for both sides.
Okay. Yeah, I like that take. I didn't know about the Shawn Spears thing. Hard pass.
Dude, I was like really, I honestly, when Stacks turning on Tony D is a better option than Shawn Spears and his new faction standing tall, that's an issue. That's an issue with this entire men's main event scene on NXT. It's Obafemi, it's Trick Williams, it's Ethan Page, and it's everybody else. Javon Evans is so young that he can grow. He's going to grow, and he's going to be the top guy for NXT. But the reason why they've been flirting with him in the main event scene so often, so early in his run, is they have no one else. So you have to let the 19-year-old have a try.
Listen, you can't have everything. You can't have a fucking murderer's row of a women's division and have a great men's division too. That's just how that works. As long as Obafemi gets to shine, I don't care what happens to the rest of them. I ain't gonna hold you. Sorry. Just don't. I don't kind of care. Send Oba up. I'm good. Ricky's here. Send Oba up. Please and thank you.
He's like, put the title on Ricky and send Oba up.
Time to go. But Jimmy, we just have the same problems we had before. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah, I know. Obafemi to the main roster, please. Please and thank you.
Appreciate you for that. Louis says, still not going to watch NXT regularly. I'm gonna give it more a try. I thought this week's episode was good until the main event angle. But Ricky B in there definitely gave it a boost for sure.
Yeah, I mean, unless the show's built around Ricky, I'm not gonna watch it regularly, but I'll definitely be checking it out more often. Starts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the women's division is absolutely stacked.
It's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So the fact that Zarya feels I'm done. Zarya feels like someone who hasn't really gotten a big push, but still she's like it adds to the depth of their women's division.
Yeah, and apparently Jordan Grace is coming soon. So whatever Zarya's getting, she's supposed to get a lot less of it. Sorry. That roster is insane down there.
It's like I think Roxanne gets called up. She seems like they're already teasing that. So she gets called up. She gets called up. You get Julia in the top position. Stephanie Vicaire seems like she's about to win the North American Championship. Then it seems like they're teasing Zarya and Sol Ruka being a team. I think the best direction for Zarya is turning heel.
And we'll face one of the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think if she came in as a heel, she would have been probably the top person to face Julia as Stand and Deliver.
Well, then that's probably coming. Actually, you know what? I can't say it's probably coming. I've got a handle on Tony Khan's booking. I've got a handle on Triple H's booking. I can't even kind of know what Shawn Michaels is going to do next from show.
It's go for real, like
not a clue, not even a little bit.
Unless he's booking an angle based on his career, I don't know.
It's like, all right, good Lord. What are you?
Yes, Ricky is the current Defy champion. He became the champion last Friday, defeating Kenta, who had like a 500-day reign. And then a couple of days later, he gets released from his AEW deal. And a day after that, he's a WWE superstar. He's already canceled one of his scheduled indie bookings, too.
My guess is he's going to drop the belt somewhere.
Or he just relinquishes it if WWE doesn't want him.
You think so?
WWE's known for making their talent like just cancel their last bookings, not like finish things off.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Poor Defy.
We got Big Man Dogs. It says Sean Spears formed House of Torture America.
He was not a fan of that, huh? Fair enough.
Ace, no, I did not forget Wesley, because he has not been pushed at any type of main event level at all. I added Wesley in that mix of like the top or guys that should be in the main event scene, and there is a part of me that's like Wes should be in there, but I'll be honest with y'all. This may be the first time I'm saying this. I feel like Wes lost a little bit of his character when he cut his braids.
I can see that. He does feel normalish, kind of like Little Yachty. I realize, not Yachty. Who's Big Face? Oh Jesus, that's rude. Drake's friend. That is Yachty. Yachty who walks around looking like Mace now. With that haircut, it's just like, yo, sir, you already weren't very talented. Now you just look a guy who's gonna hustle me on 25th Street. Good Lord.
I only have $2. Well, let me get that $2.
This is not mink, sir. I don't care what you say. $12 for this mink? I don't think so. I don't think it is.
I don't think this is real. Is this real?
Yeah, this is real gold. Nigga, your hand is turning green.
Your whole body's turning green. What are you talking about? Oh man, it's too. When Eric Isaac says Wesley now back feuding on it. Yeah, exactly. Like that's my issue with a lot of like WWE booking, especially right now, is that they rehash these rivalries that like literally just ended. Like Wes is on TNA with his new boys, Tyson and Tyreek, and they've been feuding with the Rascals again.
Is that what you wanted? For them to actually give TNA some fucking people?
I wanted them to give him Wesley before he lost his aura.
I love that. Niggas never had me.
Nah, he was, and Wes was already here, so it's not like he's someone new.
During TNA, I mean, he was actually in TNA before. So what?
Yeah, he was in TNA before, and then in 2024, when they were doing the whole Rascals reunion, he was in TNA. He wrestled at Slammiversary last year. He's wrestled on TNA Impact. I'm fine with him being here. Yeah. I'm fine with him being here, but let's explore some new things.
Explore some new things. Good Lord. He's Triple H, he's Steve Austin. It's Wesley. Explore some new things, some new territory. Wesley, get out of here. No disrespect, sir. Keep up the good work.
Davion says Wesley ain't doing much of anything on NXT. That is true. And King Potato says, has anyone checked on Chef Michaels? There's smoke coming from the kitchen. He hasn't used that GIF, that meme or the video in a long time now.
I would imagine not. Listen, I like Sean. Looking at his strong suit.
Your favorite, Jimmy. Say hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
Say I missed you.
I can't see.
Okay, you can't play the video because then I'm gonna get straight. All right. You said hi. She always tells me, like, what you gonna do? You gonna do a show with Jimmy?
I think her accent has improved. You guys need to leave the UK as fast as possible again. You don't want her falling into old habits.
Oh, we got Big Man Dogs who says, Wes, this guy, Lee.
That's what I'm saying. That's Wes Lee. No disrespect. No disrespect. Of any kind.
No disrespect at all. What did you think about overall all the AEW departures this week? Ricky Starks, Malachi Black, and Miro.
So it's a big name missing, ain't it?
Should have been talking shit.
Oh my god, absolutely. People talking shit, they should be held to slave deals. Good lord. Elon Musk over here.
Slave deals, yes. He's getting paid to sit at home. I really feel bad for him. Yeah.
Good lord.
What did you think?
I think you guys are disgusting. But that
I
aside,
think you're disgusting for feeling bad for him. Yes, I agree. But go ahead.
I think you feel
What do you think? What do you think about the actual? What do you think?
For him?
What do you think about the actual exits from AEW this week?
Like that fucking preacher said, empathy is a sin. Absolutely, it's beautiful.
Empathy for someone getting paid to sit at home.
Absolutely, money,
6 figures to sit at home.
Money is that good. What more they just get paid? Oh, good lord, you guys are fucking sickening. What's the question?
I've asked it like 3 times now. What did you think about the actual departures from AEW?
Congrats. Money can't buy happiness. I'm glad you're free. Obviously.
Do you think they all go to WWE?
Malachi definitely. Rick Starks is already there. Miro, yes, but I doubt it works out.
I think that out of everybody, I think Miro would be the one that didn't sign with WWE. It feels like to me, especially if he can get like a good movie role, he's probably done with wrestling.
Wow, really?
That's what I think right
now.
We got over here Davion. He says, what came to the decision to let these wrestlers go, SP3, after this time? I couldn't. You would have to ask Tony Khan that question. I mean, it's about damn time. I mean, we've been talking about these 3 guys for over a year now, so I guess somebody will say better late than never. I'm not going to say that, but about damn time. That's what I will say.
Look at these fucking class traders. If this was France hundreds of years ago, you'd be taken to the streets and shot, as you fucking should be. Ugh. You're fucking sick.
France traders?
Bring back the fucking guillotine for cocksuckers like these. No disrespect. You guys are great.
What are you talking? You talk out of both sides of your mouth.
I'm sorry. I don't want to get us in trouble. I'm trying to clean it up. But good lord. These Negroes should be shot. I'm sorry.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
You have to understand. He was talking bad about the king. He was paid a good wage. Kill this cocksucker. Enough of this cocksucker.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I don't understand the problem. He was paid a handsome wage. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck is wrong with you? Good lord. All right. We'll keep it together. You guys are great.
You okay?
Yeah.
You okay now?
Good. Jackman, you got him right. Kill these cocksuckers. The motherfuckers had it right. Drag the motherfuckers out of their fucking.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I'm right out of their golden wagons and fucking hang them in the street, as they should be. What did he do? He celebrated too happily when the king made more money. Good. Kill him. Kill him.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Not you, David. You asked a good question. You asked a good question. I don't know the answer. SP don't know the answer. Nobody knows the answer. That's a good question. Some of the people under you.
It is a good question. No, he wasn't yelling at you.
No. The 2 niggas under you. I don't feel bad for them at all. You understand? If that was me, you understand? I just stay there, get fucked in the ass with my paper. You gotta do what you gotta do. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck is wrong with you? Fuckers don't have a fucking soul. Wipe your tears with your Benjamins, man. You understand? I
have a soul.
Mad about, man.
Just I have a soul. I just tend to look at things from all perspectives.
Jesus, just get your money, nigga. Fuck you worrying about your integrity for and shit. Just get paid, nigga. We selling crack. What you mean it's fucking the kids up? You just get money. That's the only thing that fucking matters. Shut the fuck up.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
They signed the contract. What you mean you ain't read the fine print, motherfucker? You signed it. You got paid. Now you don't give a fuck, nigga. Shut the fuck up. The fuck is wrong with you?
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Yeah, it's been a while since you went off like this, so
Yeah,
you were due. AEW Dynamite took place last night from Austin, Texas. Well, the show was taped on Tuesday, but aired last night from Austin, Texas. What did you think about the crowd last night, or Tuesday night in Austin?
That was a good crowd. That was a really good crowd, actually. Now I think about it. They did the most of what they had. The only time they were really quiet is when the two biggest names in the show were talking. Fucking Moxie and Edge. Good Lord.
It's like we're into everything here. Not these guys.
Ew. It's heavens.
AEW Dynamite came on air with the Hurt Syndicate, the Guns, MJF, Dustin Rhodes, and Megan Bayne all preparing for their matches. We didn't hear any audio for that, just saw them getting ready. Then Excalibur welcomes us alongside Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness. One additional point up. Nigel McGuinness on commentary. They barely get off much of their intro before Max Caster hits the ring to no music as well. I like that. He hits the ring to a chorus of boos. Caster says that he is Platinum Max Caster, and he is known as the best wrestler alive. And he holds up his trademark saying such. He said he ran Anthony Bowens and Billy Gunn out of All Elite Wrestling, as he was always the mastermind of the Acclaimed. Caster asks, who can survive the best wrestler alive? And we get our next edition of the Open Challenge. The Open Challenge started 2 weeks ago on Collision, with Roosh making his return to beat up Max Caster. And this time it's a man that he should know very well after the last couple of weeks, Hangman Adam Page. His music hits, and Caster is immediately pissed. He gets out of the ring. He literally ran for his life into the crowd and hid amongst the fans in the middle of a row. The fans, though, gave him away. They start pointing him out to Hangman. So Hangman is in pursuit through the crowd. Caster, though, finally makes his way through the crowd back into the ring. When Page follows him, he attacks right at the opening bell. He began things with a Hurricane Rana off the second rope, opting to mock and taunt the crowd. Page immediately gets right back up. He's right behind him, basically saying, on your left. And he hits a series of right hands and clotheslines. The crowd is amped up for Hangman on offense, just beating the daylights out of Caster. And then finally, Page puts him away, goes to the apron, hits the buckshot lariat. 1, 2, 3. Hangman Adam Page picking up a win to open the show here. He even just puts back on his jacket. And he walks out the same way he came in. Meanwhile, at ringside, we see Caster struggling to stand up, but he holds up his trademark plaque like he won the damn matchup. Caster is killing this role. I feel like this should lead to him doing this Best Wrestler Alive challenge. He loses all these matches until Bowens comes back, and Bowens accepts the challenge, and then he cheats to beat Bowens.
This was all fun, but I'm not gonna be critical for a moment. First of all, I love the gimmick, number one, but I think they are running into the same issue that they ran into with Chelsea, which is it's if the villain gets his comeuppance every week, then it's not comeuppance. He's just ass. Sorry.
But I think they pace it better by doing what they did this time with him doing the first one. Then he did the segment with Paige 2 weeks ago. He's done a couple of promos on Collision alone. Just let him get the heat. Do the mic work. Do angles that get him the heat, and then he can lose all his matches as long as he's getting his heat.
Why? Then what's the point? Outside, we're filling 5 minutes.
It's entertaining.
You can be entertaining and win a match. Please and thank you. I want Max Cassidy.
Would he be as entertaining winning the match as he was losing?
Well, I don't want to be Hangman, to be clear, or people like this, but other bums. No offense to him or anybody else. I'm just saying, other people on his bracket will say. That's like, I love the way they did use Chelsea early. And then she was losing all these matches. I'm just like, the Karen who gets her comeuppance isn't a Karen. She's just a bum who gets whipped. No offense.
That's true. That's true. That's a cool assessment there. I think that they have to find some type of balance because it is working. We got Big Man Dogs. He says SRS said that AEW talent should start negotiating a clause that lets them leave if they haven't been used for 2 months, or I guess talent broadly.
Yeah, absolutely. Please and fucking thank you. Get the fuck out of here. You know what they should have? Hulk Hogan, you cunt? A union.
That would help a lot. That would help.
Boy, I think the business back 50 years. Good Lord.
Oh. Vince would have never gotten into the power that he did if they would have done that back in 1986. Yeah.
That's all the awful shit you could have stopped. We had a fucking union. Fucking construction workers have unions. These bums don't. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Then we got a super chat donation here from our boy Santo. Thank you for joining us today. Good to see you in the chat, Santo. That's where we're going to give you the mic and let you
speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my God, Siobhan, what the hell is wrong with you?
Santo says, cheers, THH fam, and let's see what I missed on Dynamite. We get what happened?
A decent show.
We get a recap of last week's main event. I will say, I was quite surprised because I'm not used to AEW having a follow-up for last week's main event so fast into the show. Usually I have to wait till like the middle of the show for them to acknowledge what happened to end the show last week. So this was pretty early for them. As they recapped Ricochet defeating Swerve Strickland last week. They also shown some highlights from that. And we hear from Ricochet, who was shown saying that Strickland had all of the threats and insults, but just like the Eagles, he's a winner this week. But none of it, huh?
Lord, you changed his picture? This is an uncomfortable ass picture. It's not a very good looking man from that picture.
He says all the threats and insults, none of it mattered when you can't win, as Ricochet is moving on to bigger and better things. Meanwhile, Swerve said they are far from done. He's all about an eye for an eye. Prince Nana, though, trying to be the voice of reason. He tells Swerve, you should be focused on Jon Moxley and the AEW world title. But Swerve said the last time he took his eye off the ball and he let something personal slip, look what happened. And Hangman Adam Page burned his house down and he lost everything. The video ended with Ricochet now wearing the embassy robe, saying that it's cold outside, but thank God I'm a little bit warmer. I love this guy. But you know what I love? You know what the key is with two programs that I think are among the hottest in AEW right now? Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet, MJF versus Hangman Adam Page. Is Page and Swerve using their feud to prop up these current feuds? Like Swerve bringing up Hangman, going personal, and him letting it slide is the reason why he's not done with Ricochet. Hangman trying to look for Swerve, questioning his past decisions and the descent that he went to get revenge while feuding with MJF, who's just pointing out, you're not this guy. You're not this guy. He was like, you're questioning everything you do. If I did it, I'm remorseless. Like, I like that. It's basically an extension from their feud. Do you not understand that? Or
I completely understand that these things happen to people, and then we don't act like it didn't happen to them. Continuity.
It's
common
it's
sense storytelling. Thank you, Tony.
It's a weird thing that Tony Khan had not been doing regularly. Triple H does it, but then sometimes Triple H does it too much, where he does the same continuity segment week after week after week after week. Case in point, the Judgment Day. Anyway, that oh my god! Anytime they're on the screen, I want to turn the channel.
They want to bring in new members to the group, and the genius that is Finn Balor says no. Oh my god! What the fuck? Then we established he's really smart when he did the SummerSlam thing, right? He fucked everybody over, then put the group under him. He doesn't want to bring in new members to the group.
It really feels like Finn Balor is getting blamed for the Terror Twins and Judgment Day storyline peaking 6 months early. It feels like he's being the one blamed because between him losing to Damian Priest, looking like a dumbass when Nick suggests bringing in new members, and then that oh my god, the non-pop he got in the Rumble for his new awful Death Rebel song. Not a lot of people can survive that. That's only in the first 2 months of the year, like, yeah. And this is coming off the heels. Do you remember at the end of 2024 that report that came out that Finn Balor is in line for a big push this year?
Right. I mean, to be fair, it's a big push for anybody else. I'm not sure about Finn. Why wouldn't you just bring in a bunch of Irish hooligans that are loyal to you and you alone? A bunch of JDs. What the fuck are you doing? Good Lord. I'm sorry. So bothered. They bother me so much.
The fact that Dom is the smartest man in this group is kind of sad.
I gotta be honest. I might just cut everybody else loose. Except Liv.
I've literally said this for 6 months now, Jimmy. When the Judgment Day is done, the only one who survives is Dirty Dom. That's it.
And Liv Morgan, obviously, who will be in the world title match at WrestleMania. Calling it now. You are all welcome. Sorry. I don't like it. I know you don't want to hear it.
Don't do that, Skip. You were telling me one match for months. You were telling me one match for months.
I'm trying to tell you.
Now you're trying to play it off.
Listen, Io will be in a world title match, but so will Liv. I'm sorry. I don't want it this way. I prefer Rhea and Io for fucking 2 hours if I could, but that's how it works. Goddamn shame.
I can't believe they couldn't even get on the chamber. I'm so upset about that. Put this on the chamber.
It's gonna be a fuck.
We making matches for the Raw after. We only got 2 matches for the premium live event. What we doing?
It's gonna be a fuck finish. That's why they can't do it on pay-per-view. Can't piss off.
And I swear, I'm gonna be even more upset when Cody and Solo is made for the chamber over Rhea and Io. I'm gonna be even more upset.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
I considered that.
Yep. Dude, the ending of SmackDown, I was just like, I was looking around in my living room, but there was no one in the living room. But I was like trying to find someone to give me an answer of why WWE thinks the best idea to bring back Solo Sikoa is another match with Cody Rhodes.
Shocking. Alexander Fitzgerald and Frantic World are here. Trying to prove me wrong for my theory last week that they're the same person. I'm not falling for the okie doke. Welcome. Welcome, one of you. Who's real.
Welcome, one of you.
Who's real and the other, who was your alter ego. I'll let you decide which is which.
Big Man Doug says Max is probably a top 5 heel in AEW right now.
Ooh. Well, it's MJF.
Don Callis family.
Oh, Callis. Yeah. I guess you can put Wheeler Yuta in there if you want.
Yeah. Yuta and the Death Riders. That's what we're going to start calling it. Wheeler Yuta, the most over member, and the Death Riders.
Ricochet and Caster. Sure, I'm down. Christian, where's he been? Well, MIA. He can't be top heel. You never.
That's true. That's a good point. That's not the worst point. Yeah. I would. I think Caster could squeeze in if Christian has been away and hasn't been given promo time in a while. Even though him seeing his sons get their ass kicked and then hiding.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. All right, you know what, Max.
Six.
Yeah,
Top six. We got Frantic World in the chat. We also got Alexander Fitzgerald. They did comment back to back. So.
Back to back. Late to the show. Ooh. Right. Sure. Whatever you say. I believe you.
Pink Potato said Mercedes called Ricochet "aha boy" when asked who are some people she would want to tag with.
Jesus fucking Christ. Get the personality flypaper. Oh.
Davion says, how come Ricochet never did his heel thing in WWE? Because he had flips.
Talk about. I'm not gonna. They tried this shit last week. I'm not gonna let them get away with this revisionist history of Ricochet showing up here and getting booed out the fucking building. Not booed. Just nobody gives a fuck. And then the whole world was just thinking, if only WWE and then at the time AEW would just let this guy run around with scissors, he would be a top heel. I'm not gonna let you guys get away with this horse shit like this was a thought you had before it happened. Knock it off.
You know, it had to be some fan out there that was just like, you know what character Ricochet could really play? The school nerd who becomes a school shooter. That's the role he could play to a T. There was multiple fans who said that. We got Big Man Dogs who says, hear me out. Prince Nana turns on Swerve and joins Ricochet.
That would hurt.
That would hurt.
Yeah. I'm not sure when that should happen, but that should be like a biggest moment of the month type thing. Maybe a title match. Mm-hmm. Something like that. It should be like, holy shit, that just happened.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever they pull the trigger on Swerve and Nana breaking up, it's going to be a big moment. It's gonna feel like to a lesser extent, but because of how long they were together. But for AEW fans, in a lot of ways, it'll feel like how WWF fans in 1996 felt when Paul Bearer turned on Undertaker.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I still remember being 8 years old and being absolutely shocked. Like, what?
I didn't even know that was a thing that could happen.
I didn't know heel turns was a thing. Like, what? I didn't know a manager could turn heel. What? We got Christopher Kidd who says AEW been making us laugh a lot more lately. Stuff is starting to hit.
Oh boy, these niggas swear they're starting to feel it every couple weeks. We'll be here complaining a couple weeks from now. Shut up.
I'm gonna give them more weeks. I've been seeing more people saying they've on a good stretch of shows. I think if Grand Slam delivers, next week's Dynamite deliver, I'll come on here and I'll be like, the Huntsville show, the January 29th show that Jimmy gave a 5 out of 10 and I gave a 5.5 out of 10. That was a wake up call to them having at least decent to good shows on TV. They was like, all right, we got that out of our system. We're not going to do some good shows.
How long ago was that show?
That was 3 weeks.
2 weeks?
3 weeks.
Last week was the show you all liked. What was the week before that?
That was the January 29th show.
Like, what was it?
That's one where Claudio cheated with Death Riders to beat Jeff Jarrett. It ended with Mercedes and Yuka Sakazaki in a good match in a vacuum, but didn't accomplish anything. The only good part I remember was the Ricochet AR Fox matchup and then the post match with Swerve. But like, yeah, it was just a lot of. I think that was the show that also had Ospreay and Brian Cage, which was a good match. But then it had that post match. That was the show that had all the heel beatdowns.
Gotcha. All right.
I had to put my finger on it. I was like, oh yeah, that was the one. We got Big Man Dog says big push on WWE Evolve. Talking about who are we talking about here?
Finn.
Oh, that's why. don't know what's more wild, that comment or this other comment here from Davion saying the Washington Wizards have more aura than Finn Balor.
Knock it off. I'll do it. Don't pretend like Finn's not that guy. Those a character. He's up there as dumbest TV characters maybe ever. Dumbest wrestling characters ever.
Yeah. Oh man. That was a good one. Davion said that January show felt like an episode of Rampage. It did. It definitely did.
What's the date of this again? January 20th.
January 29th. January 29th, I believe.
That's the awful show?
Yeah. That was the show that we both were like below 5.5. That
was 2 weeks ago.
No. 2-3 weeks. We're all over the place.
3 weeks.
3. We're all over the place on what 3 weeks is.
Motherfuckers got your check 33% wrong. You look at. Well, yeah.
And up next, we get the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta defending the AEW World Trios Championships against the Undisputed Kingdom, following their win in a Triple Threat Trios matchup on Collision and being attacked by the champions. This marks the Claudio, Pac, and Wheeler's first title defense since the November 9th edition of AEW Collision. I don't think you should have admitted that on TV. Hopefully, this is the start of these titles actually being used or just being thrown away altogether. The Undisputed Kingdom attacked immediately, but things went just as quickly to the commercial. When things returned, O'Reilly was being isolated. He tried to fire up on Claudio, but Wheeler took a cheap shot as the Death Riders triple team Kyle, as Strong and Cole were held back by referee Rick Knox. Kitchen Sink knee to Pac inside, turns him inside out, which allowed a hot tag to Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong looked absolutely great here. He was just moving so fast in the ring. It was a great hot tag by Strong. He ran wild with backbreakers aplenty, hit Pac with a big gut buster. Cole followed with a backstabber and a PK by Kyle, got them a near fall. Yuta shoved O'Reilly off the ropes, allowing Claudio to blindside Strong and found himself isolated this time. All three of the Death Riders took turns grounding Strong, but the UK was able to break up the pin. Strong finally hits a desperation lariat. He finally gets the hot tag to Adam Cole. Adam Cole runs wild for a while in there, hitting super kicks, mid-air super kick to Pac at one point. Triple shot on Pac, gets a near fall. As Castagnoli flew in with a double stomp before hitting a double suplex on both Cole and Strong. Fastball special with O'Reilly, but Kyle got his knees up for a very close near fall. Super kick from Cole, a high and low from Strong, and O'Reilly gets a very close near fall on Yuta as Pac breaks up the cover. Strong tried a dive on Claudio, but was caught into a giant's ring into the barricade. Claudio brought a chair into the ring and wrestled with the referee with it before eating a super kick from Cole. As referee placed the chair out of the ring, Rick Knox has no peripheral vision and doesn't see Wheeler Yuta low blow Kyle O'Reilly. He then gets him in an inside cradle for the Death Riders to retain the AEW World Trios Championships. Post-match, Claudio, Pac, and Yuta all attack O'Reilly and the rest of the Undisputed Kingdom until TNT champion Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker all run out to make the save, causing the Death Riders to bail through the crowd. Garcia helps Adam Cole to his feet, and they share an embrace, further teasing a potential TNT championship matchup down the road with them, but furthering this uneasy alliance between the two trios here. But I thought the match was really fun. I didn't expect it to be that good. I thought that Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly in particular worked really well in this matchup. And Pac seemed more in his game. And I just love Wheeler Yuta. I feel like Wheeler Yuta towards the end of like the last 5 minutes of this match, I think the only move he did hit was a low blow.
Wheeler might be the shining light of this fucking
he really is.
Of this match. I'm sorry. It's just this match was fine. This match was like everything I hate about AEW. I ain't gonna hold you. Just everybody the internet loves in one place. Being as overrated as they possibly can be. No disrespect. I'm joking. I'm joking. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Adam Cole, Claudio. It's kind of like an all-star game of the internet's guys. I mean, it used to be internet's guys. Now that they see them every week, they realize maybe they're not as good as they thought they were. But that's not the here nor there. This was fine. This is what it is. And then the save was made by more of the internet's guys. Here comes Daniel Garcia, a champion of some kind, right?
TNT champion, yes.
Right. I remember it was a relatively big deal when he beat another one of the internet's guys, Perry.
Who hasn't been on AEW television system.
It's a lesson to be learned here. I'm not entirely sure what it is, outside of the fact you guys know what you're talking about. Yeah, this is fun.
There you go. We got.
You see this? This is setup. This is setup. You see, I was keeping my calm through that whole thing I just did. I didn't yell at all. I insulted you all, but I didn't yell. I kept it together. And then dummy over here, Fitzgerald. No disrespect, sir. He's talking about Penta.
No disrespect to calling him a dummy.
No disrespect, dummy. I don't mean to be rude. How is he your boy if you don't watch him on Raw every single week? One of the 10 most important people on that fucking show. What the fuck are you even talking about? I'm keeping it together. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to snap. You snap there, we're not going to snap again. The fuck are you on about, sir?
I mean, to be fair, I think in the WWE Raw landscape, the Judgment Day would be higher than Penta.
The Judgment Day is a group.
Yeah.
So you're going to say all 6 whatever name is more important than Penta?
No, the unit, the Judgment Day. I wouldn't say Dom is more important than Penta. I wouldn't say Liv Morgan. I could make an argument for Liv. I could make an argument for Liv. I couldn't even make an argument for Dom. No one else in the group I can make an argument for. But the group as a whole consistently gets TV time every single week, more than just a minute vignette every single week. They get backstage segments. They get matches in the ring. They get multiple interviews. Sometimes he gets one vignette.
Wrestle every week.
He gets the formula has been he wrestled back to back. Then he did a vignette to hype up him in the Royal Rumble. Had the Iron Man performance in the Royal Rumble. Had a match with Kaiser last week. Then another vignette. They're gonna do probably like 2-3 weeks of him wrestling and then a vignette.
What's wrong with that? And it would not your words.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying Judgment Day gets more time. That's all I'm saying.
It doesn't have to do with anything.
That he's lower on the totem pole than the Judgment Day.
Who are higher on the totem pole than just about everybody on that fucking show?
No, there's quite a few people above.
Let's hear it. Let's hear the list. We weren't talking about this, but now we're going to talk about it. Let's hear the list.
Punk, Seth, Sami Zayn, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky as of late has been getting more attention than even Penta.
I'm hearing an all-star lineup so far. Go ahead.
The Judgment Day.
That's okay. You just said that. I asked you who's had the Judgment Day. Boom.
Oh, that's it. Oh, that's pretty much the people that are ahead of Judgment Day. But there's room between Judgment Day and Penta. Yeah, Jay's in that top 5. He's above the Judgment Day. I would say Judgment Day and Gunther are on the same level as far as TV time and focus and how they're presented. Liv Morgan by herself, then she would be above the Judgment Day. Yeah, that's mainly like I would say Penta. I don't know if Penta cracks this top 10. Honestly,
you didn't name 10 things.
I named 7.
That ain't 10.
All right, I'll think of 3 more, but before the end of the show, because we got to
feel free. I'm not done because I was making a fucking point before you interrupted with the Judgment Day fucking horse shit. How does that make not what you said, Fitzgerald? How does that make him relegated? Keyword, look it up if you're gonna use it to main event. Oh, neglected. Even worse, neglected to main event. Please and thank you.
King Potato says Roddy is the best hooper in UK. I'm afraid Cole is looking like a lost puppy in the ring. Still, so unfortunately, it's like he lost his juice. He lost any type of juice. He doesn't have that second step because he has someone else's ankle in his body.
He should be on the juice. It would help. I'm here to help, sir. If you want to reach your former potential, take some juice. Get on that diet. Jordan Greer's diet.
Christopher says I won a Yuta Roddy match on Collision. Davion says, give me Pac versus Kyle O'Reilly in a 15-minute banger. I will say Kyle O'Reilly and Pac did work well together in this matchup. And I was like, I've never seen that match before. I was like, that was strange. It's strange when there is matches, and because you think that AEW by now have used all their different matches. When there is matches that are like, oh my God, I can't believe these two guys haven't faced each other before. That's cool to me. We got Big Man Dawes who says, I have to say that it didn't feel like 17 minutes. I think I enjoyed it because my expectations were so low. I think that's why I enjoyed it so much as well. I think Big Man Dawes is that I didn't expect, I was like, it's the Death Riders, it's the Undisputed Kingdom after the MJF feud. I don't know. I wasn't that invested into it going in, but I was pleasantly surprised. And like I said, it mainly was Roddy and Kyle O'Reilly who were really strong in
It was a solid usage of 17 minutes. I was going to say filler, but I won't be rude. Usage of 17 minutes.
Davion says that match was awesome. We also got Ace. It says it's time for the Death Riders to lose their titles. And we got Frantic World who says the fuck SP3 JD is ass. From what I see online, Penta has been used good so far in WWE. I do think he has been used good so far in WWE, but my whole thing was Judgment Day has been used more. They have always been used more, even in comparison to since Penta got here. They've been used more.
What is the point?
You're lower on the totem pole than a faction that everybody says is bad and not entertaining.
Everybody says, well, that's okay. The top heel faction.
The vast majority of fans either don't care or don't think that the Judgment Day are entertaining.
They use less than the top heel majority, the top heel group on the show. Yes, it is a
kind of the top heel group by default.
A factually accurate.
They're the only heel group on the show.
A factually accurate statement. Good job.
And I know factually active that they're the only faction on the show, so you can't be the top faction if there's only.
You absolutely can. That's how math works.
No.
That's not how math works.
You're the faction. You're not top faction.
Top
faction means that you have someone below you. There is no other faction. They are the faction.
Wait a minute.
That's a better.
So now we're gonna do that. So now we're gonna do this. We're gonna argue pedantics the rest of the show. Sure. What's called still on Raw? Gable and Company.
Are they?
Are they still on Raw?
Are they?
Because I only need one.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. They've been very, very used well. John Moxley and Marina Shafir are walking backstage when Cope clocks Moxley in the back with a steel chair. Before he shoved Marina Shafir into a side room, her hands were still handcuffed to the AEW World Championship briefcase as Switchblade Jay White showed up to help out Cope. He has a bolt cutters and he snaps off the case from Marina Shafir. They bail with the briefcase containing the AEW World title when Moxley finally recovers from the chair shot and he checks on Marina Shafir. A few segments later, we hear from Cope and Jay White, the thieves here, basically. They cut a promo and basically say that they're holding this briefcase hostage, asking if John Moxley is missing his precious cargo. White said that they have a canvas they must paint with the blood of the one true king. Cope says he's carried a briefcase like this once or twice in his career, as all Moxley has to do in order to get his briefcase back is to meet them in the ring at the end of the night. This looks like different evolutions of a Pokemon, because I was like, them running around together was like, man, Jay White is pretty much like a cooler version of Babyface Edge from like the 2000s. What did you think about this ambush and stealing of the briefcase?
Jay White's doing his best. He's doing what he can. It's not working. This is hands. I'm sorry. All this is stupid. This fucking dry-haired, bug-eyed old man running around like he's the top. This is so silly. I'm sorry. I'm so annoyed.
Yeah, they stole the briefcase and we still didn't see the AEW World title.
I can't believe how bad this all is. This feels like sabotage. Maybe Moxie sounded telling the deal with WWE. What's going on here? Good Lord. Whatever.
Oh man. We got Power Drive Finishers. He says, I think you open that briefcase up and make sure the title is in there, not to waste any more weeks. Exactly. I was like, what's the whole point of stealing the briefcase if you're not gonna check that the world title is actually in there?
What difference does it make?
Because you could just be having like a briefcase. like Orange Cassidy in one of his JanSport book bags.
What? All right. Should they have opened the briefcase? Fucking certainly. Only because Moxley doesn't want it open. That's why you should open it, because he doesn't want it open. You take the belt out, obviously, because that's what he does not want. Why the fuck would you keep it in there? And then what are we doing? This is heinous.
Big Man Does says this the Death Riders is an all-time bad main event anchor storyline because how boring it is.
And it's nonsensical.
Yeah.
And
that's it. I mean, even more than boring, it's more nonsensical than anything.
Good Lord. Jay White is Robin to fucking Edge 2025. Holy shit.
At least explain it. At least go out your way to explain White. I don't even know how you could explain it. White helping Cope and Cope going for the title. Because White's goal has always been to be it's always been to be the AEW World Champion. But now he's not concerned about it. He's trying to help Cope win the title.
Jay White is, even AEW, the continuity is he's an egomaniac, #1, and he wants to be the champ. This is it. It's the only thing you really even know about Jay White from AEW. And now he doesn't care about this shit at all. He's running around with fucking Edge. What the fuck? Maybe that's his dad. That's interesting, I guess.
Hey, there is a lot of comparisons to them. Renee Paquette is backstage with Dustin Rhodes, who got the crowd going before saying the real devil is here, as MJF will find out why he's the last of his kind. Bitch.
Oh! Jesus. What did I do to deserve this? Nothing. I've done nothing. I've been a good boy all year.
Have you? Have you really?
Bitch. Yes. Dustin Rhodes dropping bitch at the end of every line because he gets a cheap pop. Good Lord. Oh, I hate him so much. Oh.
Why are you so upset?
Right now,
why are you so sad?
It's so bad. It's so bad.
We go backstage to MJF, meanwhile, and he has an interview with Renee Paquette and said that Texas is a real state and Dustin isn't a real state and Dustin Rhodes isn't a real man. MJF said that if he were Rhodes, he'd get down on his hands and knees and pray to the devil after what he does to him. But then Hangman Adam Page walks in and interrupts and tells MJF to get out of here. He's like, this is my problem. He's like, this is my problem, so get out of here. What? He was talking. MJF asks if Page has a crush on him, as this is 4 weeks in a row he's interrupted him. And then he smells him. He says he asks if Jack Daniels came out with a cologne. I love Page's response. He's like, after 5 years, that's the best that you can come up with? And MJF said, all right. He was like, I'll be honest with you. This isn't who Page is. He's seen him lose everything. For what? An apology? What makes MJF sick is that these fans actually still believe in you. Tonight, MJF will beat Dustin Rhodes and move on to do what Page has failed to do on multiple occasions. Become a 2-time AEW World Champion. And he says, let's see how you react to that, Seabiscuit. And walks off. Paquette wants to try to get a word with Page, but he stops her because we got more to come with these two. I just love the dynamic between these two. It just works.
Yeah. Motivated MJF is fantastic. Hangman's character works wonders with just about everybody.
Yeah. We got next up some trios action as we got what happened?
Just did this. More trios?
More trios action. But this time it's definitely a different type of trios match. Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata facing Aaron Solo, John Cruz, and Rosario Grillo. And this was an absolute squash. Nothing gift-worthy from John Cruz diving at Samoa Joe this time, but Samoa Joe makes quick work of him, giving him the muscle buster for the 1-2-3. And I loved Samoa Joe's promo after this. I was like, on a show that has Kurt Syndicate and all Swerve Strickland, Ricochet, Max Caster, all these black folks, I think the blackest is Samoa Joe. Joe says every week he's asked, what is this partnership about? It's simple. They have a common answer. Violence. This is my brother Hook. This is my brother Katsuyori Shibata. What stands before you are three men. They will always have a problem and will always beat your ass to solve it. Joe said that they are officially the Ops. They will hunt you down in the streets, which leads them to the patriarchy. This could have been real simple. All Christian Cage had to do was take his ass kicking like a man, but he continues to hide like a chicken ass chance. Joe issued a challenge for a trios match next week on Dynamite and say if the patriarchy was scared of the Ops. A+ on the name. I thought that was an A+ name. I didn't expect that. When I look at these three, I don't think that. But I love the name when he said it.
The Ops is a solid name. Joe's always been a great promo. This was good.
Yes, that one. You will be caught lacking. Just the way he puts that voice, that bass in his voice on certain words, it just works.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. The Ops. What a name. That I look at this crew and I'm like, that should probably be your trios champions.
All right, let's take it easy. Relax.
Or the Death Riders. I'll take Joe with another title. Joe with a title just works.
Against Shibata a title. You give Hook a title. Come on, man. You did this already. How's Hook ever going to improve if he's never in there? I don't know.
We go backstage to Renee Paquette. She is backstage with the patriarchy, Chris Jericho and Brian Keith. And Renee was quite sassy here. Renee asks if it was any consolation that Chris Jericho got to keep his $200,000 on the bounty he put on Bandito last week, and the fact that Brian Keith failed to cash in. Jericho said that he would have paid double or triple to have that bounty answered. So he's going to do it himself. And he wants to meet Bandito in the ring for a duel. Now Jericho left. Keith stops to tell Renee, don't you ever embarrass me in front of Chris Jericho again. I was like, thank you. Because he was eyeballing her. As soon as he said that shit, he stared at her the entire promo, which was awesome. We then go backstage after commercial break to Renee Paquette with Jimmy's favorite, Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale is here. She's about to talk about her return to Japan next month when she was attacked by Marina Shafir of the Death Riders. Jon Moxley walks in and he calls it pathetic for Cope to try and fight fire with fire as he's a dead man walking. He will see them later tonight. How upset were you about this segment?
Disgusted. I didn't finish the show. I turned it off and went to something else because fuck are we doing? Okay, so we don't see Willow for forever, right? Then we see Willow, who should be the face of the fucking division. That's neither here nor there. We see Willow. The first words out of Renee's mouth are, she's going back to Japan. Back? I didn't know she was here. She's going back to Japan. Then she doesn't even get to say a word before Marina Shafir kicks her in the stomach and throws her to the ground. What the fuck did she do to deserve this treatment? I remember about a year ago. This seems time or was it 2 years ago?
What?
Sting retired.
Sting a year ago.
A year ago. We were on this fucking round table with Professor Chris. And Professor Chris came here and he told me, oh, I got a lot of faith in how they're going to use Willow. And I said, what gives you faith? about how they're gonna use. I just have faith and blah blah blah. And here we are a year fucking later. Ain't shit changed. What did I fucking tell you? The fuck she do to deserve this? Who's she friends with? CM Punk? What is this? What the fuck is going on? I don't understand. Somebody explain it to me like I'm 12. Good Lord. Marina Shafir beating up Willow. And I'm beating her up, just kicked her in the stomach, just threw her down. That's it.
And choked her. And choked her down. Choked her with a chain.
So Mossy can say nothing.
Nothing.
Oh my
Absolutely nothing.
God.
Absolutely nothing.
This is fucking heinous. I'm done.
I guess Marina remembered. Marina remembered that Willow attacked her when she returned at Full Gear. I guess.
Oh, congratulations.
Maybe she just remembered.
Free Willow. Go to NXT, Willow. I know what you're saying, Jimmy. You want her in that murderer's row? Better than this shit. What the fuck? Oh, she was on Punk's. She was on Punk's Collision. Oh shit. Big Man Dust cracking the case. God damn it. That's why I told you I love Collision. God damn it. Motherfucker. Tony Storm's fine. She debuted there. The fuck?
Timeless Tony. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I don't know what's going on. It is very baffling how they've been using Willow as of late. And the fact that they are teasing like some type of storyline with her reuniting with Chris Statlander, but they're just doing it so infrequent that you can't sink your teeth into it.
I'll be nice. Every woman on the planet is on these shows except Willow. The one who should be the star of the show. What are we doing? Classic babyface in 2025. You know how hard it is to pull off? She pulls it off. With a plum. You're welcome. Especially in AEW, where fans even more fucking cynical. And she pulls it off. And pulled it off for years. Still nothing. Fucking crime.
We got a super chat donation here from Louisville. Thank you so much, Louis. We appreciate the support as always. And yes, this is the perfect time to drop.
Tony Khan! This is also on you! Because you can stop this!
Louis says, need that Eddie Kingston drop. Yeah, because the Willow segment was Jimmy's, his worst part of the show. And then it followed up with my worst part of the show. Because I thought that Bandito and Brian Keith had a really good matchup on Collision. And their characters is most cowboy versus bounty hunter cowboy. So them doing a natural duel in the middle of their matchup, pop the crowd, they run at each other, they move, they went crazy, it worked. And Chris Jericho saw that and was like, I can do it better. So Jericho comes out for the duel here. Both men came to the ring. They go face to face. The lights dim. A spotlight hit the ring as a bell sounded like the Undertaker was about to come out. Each turned their backs to each other and took 10 paces. Right as Jericho was about to charge, Brian Keith trips up Bandito as he and Jericho put the boots to the masked wrestler. The Outrunners come out to make the save and even the score, brawling with Jericho and Keith around the ring as Big Bill charges out looking to answer the bounty. Charges to the ring. He holds up the bounty flyer. Bill was about to chokeslam Bandito when Powerhouse Hobbs music hits. Hobbs marches down to the ring. He slugs it out with Bill. Bandito gives an enziguri to Bill, which leads to Bill receiving the spine on the pine spine buster by Hobbs. And then Bandito picks up the flyer and lays it over a motionless Bill to stand tall with Hobbs. Last week, I said that we got a good learning tree segment. This was not that. This was Jericho saying, "Oh, I can make it bigger. I can make it better." The dual segment that they had with Brian Keith and Bandito. Let me do it, Tony. And they add all this shit that's not necessary, that feels very overbooked. And then you don't even do the cool thing at the end, which was actually do the duel. You have it broken up. You have the Outrunners who seamlessly have just been stuck in the Jericho vortex since the 12-man tag on Collision Maximum Carnage. Then you have Bill come out And I would think, make Bill look strong here at least. And if Powerhouse Hobbs is going to come out, let them have an entertaining brawl. This was the least entertaining brawl that they've had since this feud started. So the whole segment, it felt like a Collision segment, 1, and 2, it was not needed because it accomplished nothing.
I can't tell you why certain things work and certain things don't. I don't know why I thought all of Bandito's vignettes were stupid. And the Bounty Hunter gimmick is stupid. But somehow the two of them doing a duel on Collision, I find fantastic. I don't know why that is. Sometimes wrestling is organic that way. This is the opposite of organic. I'm going to do that thing that worked. And I'm going to do the visual equivalent of Tony Schiavone yelling how cool this is. I'm going to do fucking spotlights and actual steps. This stinks. Collision great. This stinks. I can't believe how bad this was. I gotta be honest. It's kind of changed the channel stuff. The Bill was fun. I'm always happy to see Bill. I'm definitely happy to see Hobbs. But yeah. Poor Bandito. I feel like he had some momentum after that Collision shit. I just felt kind of cool. Oh shit. Go ahead.
And then they just said, you know what? Let's ruin that. Let's have him. I know he's like going to probably be the next challenger for the Ring of Honor world title, but it's just like, have him do cool shit with Keith and Bill, and then just have the match with Jericho. Have Jericho do commentary on all his matches. That's how you build to the matchup. This shit is not necessary. It didn't accomplish anything
at all.
We got here Alexander, who says Hobbs is in the Jericho vortex.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Davion says, I asked myself during the show, were these motherfuckers doing a duel? Who is booking this BS?
Mr. In the Weeds.
Deep in the weeds. Santo with a suggestion for me, I guess. He says, SP3, I got a new Super Chat challenge starting next week. Set a Super Chat goal, and if it gets reached, Jimmy has to do the next Raw review with you and Romeo if he decides to show up. He won't decide to show up.
Yeah, if you give me the option, I'm not going to be there.
Exactly. Don't give him the option. Just say, hey, we hit the Super Chat goal. Please show up.
Raw is
You do watch Raw.
I do. Raw's starting to feel like I don't want to throw it under the bus just yet. But I don't know if it was Netflix or a different streaming service that had a note to a screenwriter that his show was too intricate. It was too complicated, and people could not watch the show while staying on their phones at the same time. That they needed something a little more bland, so they would keep the screen on while they're on their phones. Netflix Raw is starting to feel like that. Like it's meant to just kind of be there. It's just they're picking up runtime as you do whatever the fuck you're doing on your phone or your laptop. I'm a little bothered. You can hold it.
Yeah, like I literally told you, Romeo this week, I was like, we could probably get this show done in like an hour, maybe even shorter, because nothing happened on this week's Raw. It was the Jay opening segment, which was good, and the wrestling was good throughout the show. But like we always say on here with Dynamite just having good wrestling matches, great wrestling matches is not always going to get a high score from us. You have to have the good wrestling matches, great wrestling matches, along with some good to great promo work or angles or something that drives people to want to continue watching. That's a good wrestling television show. And the last 2 weeks of Raw have been, like, especially the middle portions of the last 2 weeks of Raw have been devoid of that. Like the last week's Raw had a good opening segment with the Jey Uso celebration and the promo with Gunther, and had a good close to the show with Sammy and Punk, and then the Kevin Owens attack. But the middle portion of the show sucked. It sucked the life out of the whole damn thing. That I don't know if anybody made it to that final part, but they did because they were up in the ratings this week for last week's show. They were over 3 million for the post-Royal Rumble show.
Yeah,
I expect it to be below 3 million for this week's show.
What was advertised? Yeah, probably.
Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio was the main thing.
First week of Netflix they didn't have an actual main event. Sorry, I don't care what anybody says. Logan Paul, Rey Mysterio is not a main event. 2025. Next week's main event will look much better. And I miss The Rock.
Yo, like I can't believe Rock did this. Rock came back last year, tried to freaking sabotage Cody finishing his story, but they figured out a way to pivot, and they were able to make that one of the most entertaining and enjoyable runs to WrestleMania in quite some time. Rock not showing up this year, and their lack of ability, it seems, in the last couple of weeks to pivot towards interesting stories toward WrestleMania, it feels like the road to WrestleMania is just off right now. And
yeah, I feel like it hasn't started.
I don't think it's going to get on track until Elimination Chamber, honestly.
You might be right. I know Roman's missing, but this is still a murderer's row of stars you have on this fucking show. I'm not entirely sure what the issue is. You got Punk, you got Seth, you got Gunther, you got Uso, you've got Rhea, you got Io. You got plenty of fucking stars. Why is this so boring? I don't understand.
It's just like, why? What are we doing? Wait, do we not have this big show in like 10 weeks?
It's so odd.
Why are we announcing this Jey Uso and Gunther match that you gave away before the Rumble? Why are we announcing it 10 weeks ahead?
Yeah, it's an odd choice. I don't understand at all.
Big Red Dog says, "Yeah, I hate weekly WWE feeling like background. Maybe Uso had it."
What was Uso's point? I'm curious. I find his brain fascinating. Ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, Russo. I find Russo to be very interesting to be on a Raw review on Sportskeeda because he's very negative a lot, even when the show is good. Most people.
He hates fucking everything, and I don't understand. You can't really hate both of these things. You can't hate fucking Kyle O'Reilly and LA Knight, opposite ends of the spectrum. How do you hate both of them? It's impossible. It's impossible. You have to like one of these things. He just doesn't. Hates all of it.
Hate it all. Hate it all. Alexander, that's a damn lie. He said, I watched Luca's debut on the Lakers over Raw on Monday. Luca's debut on the Lakers did not tip off until Raw was off air. So you watched the pre-show over Monday.
Nice try, Frank World. We don't believe you.
That was done with you. Next time we get MJF. He comes out for a one-on-one match with Ring of Honor tag team and six-man tag team champion Dustin Rhodes. Rhodes drew a line in the sand as MJF charged at him. Rhodes immediately hits a snap power slam. MJF tried to take a powder, but Rhodes went right after him. He wasn't having it. Brought the fight back to the ring. Only the hang up Rhodes on the top rope did MJF before targeting the arm, which become his focus of this matchup. Rhodes tried a sunset flip, but MJF dropped a leg on the arm for a 1 count. MJF mocked the crowd and Rhodes before going up in the corner and doing a Goldust pose. At one point, he looks like he's about to do like a shining wizard or a running PK, and he does a running teabag. I have never seen that in my life. He just hit him with his nuts. It was weird, but it's MJF, so it is what it is. Manhattan dropped by Rhodes, running brute, 10 corner punches as the crowd was chanting along. Rhodes hits his signature bulldog, and then he follows up. He tries to follow up with the final reckoning, but MJF spin out, and then he hits a double foot stomp onto the bad arm. MJF wanted the arm bar, but Rhodes was able to cradle for a near fall. Both men up. MJF nearly is going for the crossroads, but Rhodes is able to fight his way out of it. He spins out and he connects with the move himself for a near fall. Rhodes fires up and he again wants the final reckoning. Both trade inside cradles. MJF floated over into a back suplex, faked a knee injury, allowing him to hit a snap power driver for a near fall. MJF tried to place a chair on the injured arm of the of his opponent here, Dustin Rhodes, but referee Bryce Rensburg refused to let that go down, taking the chair away. This allowed Rhodes to crotch MJF in the corner and hit the Shattered Dreams. Third time was a charm as Rhodes hits the final reckoning for a very close near fall. Had the crowd bit on that one. MJF was able to snap the bad arm to regain control. He hits a final reckoning himself for a near fall and then locks on the salt of the earth armbar. Rhodes was about to get to the ropes, so MJF repositions him, gets him in a crossface. Rhodes passes out due to MJF having his hands over his mouth to get the referee stoppage victory. I was like, why are we protecting Dustin Rhodes with this finish in the year of our Lord 2025?
Always, Lord.
Why? Post-match, MJF ran off referee Bryce Rensburg before reapplying the Salt of the Earth armbar. Hangman Adam Page's music hits. He storms right down to the ring. He has a stare down with MJF. Once again, it looks like MJF's going to walk off, but this time he finally goes after Page. He double legs him. They start brawling. Page quickly turns the tables, unloads some punches and bunches. This was the weekly security hitting the ring with AEW agents, as Jerry Lynn and Chuck Taylor are the agents out there, with Page and MJF breaking through security to get their hands on one another for multiple times. This eventually spills to the floor. MJF tries to leave through the crowd, but Page was hot on his trails. They brawl up the high into the stands where MJF tries to dump Page off of a balcony, try to commit murder. They were finally separated for good as Page was ushered to the back while MJF asks for a fan to hand him a beer. He takes the beer and then pours it on the fan. MJF comes back to the ring. MJF comes back to the ring, took the mic, and said, for the fans cheering, let them fight. He's ready to go. But their boy sucks, as Page is afraid of him. He's a gutless coward. MJF said he's a loser, like all of his fans. Page ran out from the back, and he wasn't having it. He goes straight after MJF. This brought up even more intensity between them, and I love this shot here that the brawl closed on, with Page being held back through the ropes while MJF is just yelling like a belligerent freaking idiot at him, telling him, I want you. We come back from commercial break. We see that Page went off on security, laying all of them out, ending with a big buckshot lariat, standing tall in the ring. And then it was announced following the commercial break that MJF and Hangman Adam Page will go face-to-face next week on AEW Dynamite. I expect that is where we make this match official for Revolution. But a great pull-apart brawl that got a lot of people into the rivalry between MJF and Hangman Adam Page. And I thought the match between Dustin and MJF, it was simple but very effective. It was anything you can do, I can do better. I can do your moves better than you. I have the veteran experience. I can do this stuff better than you. It was very much tit for tat throughout, and I like MJF getting a submission win. I just would have preferred Dustin tapping out. That's my only nitpick. What did you think about the match and the post-match?
That is not a nitpick. That is valid criticism that we can make about every Dustin Rhodes thing ever since the inception of fucking AEW. I don't understand this. I don't understand why he needs to be protected against Swerve. I don't understand why he needs to be protected against MJ fucking F. People half his fucking age who are already bigger stars. I do not understand even a little bit. That aside, the match was good. It was fine. It was good. MJF is also motivated, number one. And number two, better than you would think. I say that every single time MJF has a match on Dynamite. And the last time it was against Ospreay. I always forget how good MJF actually is. He is fantastic. He is the perfect combination.
This feels like the first feud since Ospreay that he's invested in. Like he's here every week building toward it. But even more, and I made this point on In the Weeds earlier, this feels like the first main event feud since he came back last year. Ospreay did feel like a main event, but it's for a mid-card title. So it's basically like it's a double negative. It's a double negative. It's two main event guys feuding over a mid-card feud. This feels like two main eventers. Whoever wins gets into the title picture.
I want that. I don't know if I want that. Yeah, MJF is fantastic. I don't know about this face to face. It just doesn't feel very organic, but that's not the point. Yeah, it's not here yet, so I'm not going to comment on it.
I wish they would have said Tony Khan has announced that we're gonna hear from both men face to face next week. No physical contact after what happened tonight. Something like that. Yeah.
Hangman and MJF. This does feel like the first time MJF has been not only invested, but like the focal point of the show, as he fucking should be. He is, as of last week, we can call it. It's MJF. He's the biggest star on the show. Sorry, Kenny. He had a nice run, but it's over. It's MJF. And I expect this match, by the way, will do a big spike on the show before it falls off a fucking cliff. What happened to Jeff Jarrett?
They're the call girl promo. I'm telling you, the call girl promo. And they were just like, nope, that's it.
Jesus. So we do Dustin Rhodes? That's so weird.
Dustin was effective, though. He was effective last week. He was effective in this matchup. I don't like the finish too much, but I can't say that this wasn't good use of Dustin. They was like, we can't do this. We can't finish this angle with Jarrett, so we'll give you another old guy.
Why not? That's what I'm asking. Why not? MJF can't pull a good match out of Jeff Jarrett? They pull the same shitty match out of Jeff Jarrett?
That promo was that bad that they was just like, I think we should just cut bait.
Sure.
I was like, let's cut bait. Let's just scrap this. I don't think we're ever getting the Jarrett and MJF matchup.
Oh, no complaints from me.
Yeah, I would. But I'm not going to complain about that at all. Frantic World says, this was so good. We get from him. We get Power Jerry Finisher says he's AEW's Rey Mysterio.
Dustin Rhodes? Listen, stop it. Ray is clearly slowed down. Enough of this, by the way. He hasn't lost a step. He's lost several steps. He's lost like 4 or 5 fucking steps. But he's still really good. And he's better than Dustin Rhodes. Would you guys stop it? Knock it all the way off. Dustin Rhodes. Good Lord. I'm so annoyed.
Yeah, that's quite ridiculous. He's more of AEW's Big Show from the late 2000s, 2010s.
Ooh. That's a nice shout.
When Big Show had been here way too long, overstaying his welcome. But back in like the late 2010s, Big Show would bust out some great matches. Like his matches with Braun Strowman, they were all great in like 2017. Yeah, so like that's Dustin. Dustin can sometimes break out a great matchup, I'm sure, but he overstayed his welcome.
Yeah, but like that's the issue. He overstayed his welcome before AEW was even here. I don't want to hear about the Cody match either. Enough. He overstayed his fucking welcome. Good Lord. Watching Goldust in 2025. What are we doing?
Imagine that.
I'd rather watch that. Make people uncomfortable at least. Except it's just making me uncomfortable. Watch this old man lumber around the ring.
Doing fucking code. At least he didn't do any like code reds or destroyers in this match. Hangman. I think MJF was just like, nah, we're not doing that.
No, you're already not.
He was like, give me the shattered machine, the shattered dreams. Like, give me the greatest hits.
Please and thank you.
I love all the different versions that we're talking about. Louis says he's AEW's PCO, except he won't take the Ring of Honor tag team titles and 6-man titles to like House of Glory and bash them with a sledgehammer because they didn't push him. Davion says he's AEW's version of Kane.
I mean, Kane did overstay his welcome.
Yeah, he did.
But
we haven't gone into. Now we got to figure out different ways to do your character levels of Kane. Kane is like he's like he's the Charizard evolution of guy who overstayed his welcome. He overstayed his welcome to the point that they had to take away all the red and black and put him in a suit.
That's kind of wild. Yeah, that's fair. But we're talking about stars here. This has never been a star. Oh, that's true. Goldust for a while there, 96.
Yeah.
97-ish.
Early 97, yeah.
5.
96, late 96, it's him and Mankind are the top heels.
right? You know, he had a run there. It's 30 years ago. MJF wasn't born.
No, he was born in 19. He was born the year Goldust highest position, 1996. Did you guys see Dustin promote his match with MJF on Twitter using a horrible looking AI pic? Yes, I did. That was really bad.
Fucking Christ. And he's got no taste. Good Lord.
He's Jerry Lynn in ROH. That's a good shout.
Whoa.
That's a good shout. That's a dope shout. But Jerry Lynn could still he was consistently having good matches. That's the only difference.
Yeah, Jerry Lynn's great.
Next up, we get the women's division being represented as Megan Bayne is making her AEW Dynamite singles debut. She's going one-on-one with a local star, Maya World, a graduate and a trainee of Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena. Bayne, man, she just, from the minute she makes her entrance, she has that aura, that impressive look that immediately, and then she has that demeanor of being a star. She walks and presents herself as a star, and it just works. I like them showing the footage of Bayne and Penelope Ford working together to lay out Thunder Rosa on Collision. World got a good reaction from this crowd, but not much in the way of offense, as she was steamrolled with a shoulder block. She gets an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Bayne no-sells some strikes from Maya and hit another over-the-head belly-to-belly suplex, a leaping lariat, and then finished her off with the F5 for the quick victory here. Megan Bayne gets her first singles win on AEW Dynamite. Post-match, Bayne was making her way to the back after her victory when the music of Chris Statlander hits, and Statlander comes out, has a brief stare down with Megan Bayne, continuing a rivalry that seemed to have sparked during the first ever Women's Casino Gauntlet on Dynamite Maximum Carnage last month. Statlander is here for a one-on-one matchup with Penelope Ford, a rematch from Christmas Collision at Hammerstein Ballroom. Ford, early on, she gets a hammerlock and licked the side of Statlander's face. How would you react to that?
I can't concentrate.
You're a fan of Superbad now?
Yeah. Yes. Even with her awful taste in men, by the way.
Didn't end out well for Penelope Ford as Statlander responded with a sliding lariat before delivering corner forearms. Statlander missed a charge. Ford tried to lick her again, but Statlander stopped her, grabbing her tongue and mouth. Ford tried to do a matrix to avoid her, floated over in the corner, but Statlander rolled through with a snap drop kick for a 2. Vertical suplex connects. Statlander was able to gain control, getting a big superplex off the top rope, short arm lariats, and a snap power slam. Ford would get a near fall on a Poison Rana, as well as a cutter, a matrix stunner at one point. That looked really nice. Statlander was just folding her in half with German suplexes, and eventually puts her away with Wednesday Night Fever to pick up the victory here. Post-match, Megan Bayne makes her way down to the ring. Statlander is so distracted by this, it allows Penelope to drop kick her through the ropes to the feet of Megan Bayne. Bayne picks her up and delivers the F5 on the floor, standing over the fallen Statlander. I like the fact that AEW has put a big spotlight on Megan Bayne. She kickstarted a feud with Thunder Rosa on Collision last Saturday. Now kickstarts a feud with Statlander over here on Dynamite. If they're going to use Bayne on both shows and she has different feuds on both shows, I mean, it seems like she's going to be a focal point of their women's division moving forward.
Yeah, I'm sure she's great. The one match I saw her in full, she was great in against Julia. Still my favorite Julia match. You know, we're up to 25 now. Still my favorite. What can I say? I do like Statlander, but I wish she would stop flexing. She looks fantastic, but not impressive enough to flex. Very who's homegrown to Judgment Day?
Raquel Rodriguez. With the back.
Fucking with the back. It's a nice back. It's not everybody stop and look at this back. It's just a nice back. That's it. Like you can tell Statlander's strong, but she's not like Jordan Grace. Like, all right, we get it. She's strong. All right. Not need to be flexing on this fucking TV. But yeah, she's great. Match is fine. Penelope Ford is an asset, we'll say. We're keeping her around. I don't know what I want from Megan Bayne and Statlander. It'd be a good match. Statlander might be the best female wrestler in the world right now. Outside maybe Io Sky. But
that's a good shout. That would be probably 1 and 2 for me right now in North America for sure. Yeah,
indeed. I think I would say for pay-per-view. Pay-per-view. I need to see the whole thing, so to speak.
There we go. We got This Is Good Wrestling Logic. We got as Alexander Fitzgerald said, 2 weeks in a row, ? The Megan Bayne Penelope Ford connection is no longer a coincidence. Could be a false tease, but it's still not a coincidence. As long as it's like Bayne is obviously the star of the group, and we're giving Penelope Ford something for her good efforts in the ring, I wouldn't mind. Or she'll be the fall guy for Bayne.
It's Tony Khan. It could completely be a fucking coincidence. What are you talking about? It absolutely could be a coincidence.
Now we have the peak of the show. Show peaked at this point.
Oh, good Lord.
CEO. Music video from Harley Cameron and Puppet Mercedes Moné. Cameron machine gun raps like she's rap god Eminem during this whole music video to Moné's theme, while also singing with Puppet Mercedes until Cameron says to cut it. We then cut to a very serious promo from Cameron sitting down in a black room, who said you always have to start somewhere. As there was a time she didn't know how to wrestle, how to sing, how to play guitar, ventriloquism, learn Chinese. She starts speaking in Chinese out of nowhere. Is there anything this woman can't do? She thanks Moné for doubting her. It's only made her stronger. Cameron thanks Moné for elevating the women's division, but she's going to be the one who wins the TBS title from her in our hometown at Grand Slam. The final money line was great, as she says she doesn't want to ride the money train. I want to drive it. I really enjoyed this. Best part of the show for me. Best part. Highlight of the show.
Harley Cameron's fucking great. She's jarringly talented. You can tell she wanted to be an actor or something. She got all these assortment of skills, trying to give herself the edge. But hey,
we need like a talent show segment where Harley Cameron just going through her different talents.
She's fucking great. I thought the promo was good. At first, kind of rolled my eyes. It felt like not the rapping part, that was perfectly goofy. But when you get serious, you know when the Rock used to get serious, he would stop talking in the third person. He would say me, and I'm like, hell. That means you know you're a psychopath the rest of the time. Hell.
You aware you're a psycho? Oh no, this completely ruins you.
Now it's stupid. Before you were just hilarious. But yeah, I got over it after a while. And Harley was really good in her serious part of her promo. I'm not against putting the belt on her. I don't know how I would do it.
I heard that promo and I was like, I wouldn't mind it now. She's gotten over big. This feels like the first time Mercedes Moné has genuinely elevated someone in a feud.
Wait,
in her AEW run so far. It felt like that with Willow during her initial feud, but I mean, we watch this episode. We see where Willow's at right now, but it feels even more with Harley Cameron. The momentum that she's building up and the big reactions that she's getting from the crowd, feuding with Mercedes is elevating her.
I think I understand what you're saying. I just didn't like the way it was put the first time. Harley Cameron has elevated herself through this Mercedes Moné feud. Yes, agreed. Mercedes gets no credit at all for just standing there. Fucking doing what? She stands there while Harley's being entertaining. Oh, okay. Oh, good job. How'd you pull that off? Sorry.
We got Project Finisher says Harley got me with this promo. I was like, okay, Aussie Eminem. But then she cuts the promo, and I'm like, okay, this is good. She most likely won't win, but good promo. I would love it if like we get the booking that we put together like a couple of weeks ago. No, we're probably not going to get it at Grand Slam now, but have Harley have a good effort. She actually proves herself to Mercedes, and Mercedes says, you know what? I'll give you one more shot. But if you lose, you become my personal assistant.
You beat her twice. I'm not mad at that.
Beat her twice, become the personal assistant, because this is working. You should not go away from something that's working this well.
Well, you don't have to do that. You just have Harley put on a good showing. Mercedes can say she sees something in her, and she's going to keep Dummy around. And Dummy would stick around, because what else is she doing?
That's also true. You could do it that way. You could do it without another match. That is true. Ace says, yeah, this was fantastic from Harley. Yeah, I didn't think she had that type of like earnest, very endearing babyface promo. But between her promo against Mercedes during the concert on Collision and this one, she's got that part of her game too.
Yeah, she's great. She's great.
And then she's got a catchphrase that's getting over with the fans too. Feel the rap.
Good Lord. How old is Harley? 31, I think? Something like that. Yeah. It worked out. Good job.
It did. We got Pigman Dogs that says, I honestly think she's been good for a long time. People just couldn't see it because of QTV. I mean, me and Jimmy, you could see it. Like, just go back and watch our past reviews here. We started seeing it when she started getting singles matches. Her singles matches against like Mariah May and Toni Storm, we were like, this should have been awful, but it wasn't. Like, that was the first time that we were like, there's something to this girl here. This is like her fifth match, and it wasn't awful. That's surprising.
She clearly gives a fuck, which is the number one asset anybody can fucking have. I'm really happy it's working out.
Same. Big Man Does says, if Mariah loses the belt, then Harley has zero chance of winning. That's true.
Harley winning this belt, it's not going to happen. Harley winning this belt would fix a lot of problems in this division. In fact, it fix the main problem in this division, which is improper usage of titles. But hey, fuck it.
Yeah. Or they could. I mean, if they really the question is, does Harley need to win it in Australia? Or is the point just Harley winning it? Because you can run back this matchup at Revolution. If it's really like that. If she's over enough, we can do the acclaimed thing of great title match, which gets the fans behind you, and then rematch where you win the title.
I'm not against putting the belt on her whenever. However, you run the risk of fucking up Mercedes, who, remember when Cody used to fight fucking Darby, and then the last match they had, Cody still doing push-ups and shit, and it's like, all right, the first time I believe you don't take Darby seriously. This is the fourth time you guys wrestled. How do you still not take him seriously? If Harley fucking puts on a good show again, fucking Australia, fucking Mercedes can't not take her seriously in Revolution, which means Harley just beats the Revolution, which is odd.
Fair. That is true. We got Davion saying, going from QTV to challenging for a title, what a complete turnaround. No one else from QTV is around. So
right. Unless we count Hobbs.
Wait, I totally forgot that part. Totally. I'll be honest with you. You could have told me anything there. I would not have believed you. But yes, Hobbs was a part. I'm really like, bro, I can't believe that actually happened.
Right? This is literally the worst idea they've ever had.
One up. They've had a couple. They got a couple of bad ideas, but that's definitely top five. That's a top five one. That's a top five one for me. That is. Who thought that would be a good idea? Like Hobbs, who had momentum, and then he wins the TNT championship after that.
QT Marshall is what?
Like, don't you understand? You ruined his title run.
All of it. Oh my god. I really get into it.
Yeah, let's not do that. I still can't believe that they thought a group led by QT Marshall was going to be a success. like who thought that was going to be a good idea? You can't be serious, right? You're not serious.
Solo was here this week. Aaron Solo was
right. He did. He just got squashed.
You said beat Bailey, and I was getting squashed with Dynamite. Ain't this a bitch? Like, ain't going great.
Next up, we had our main event of the show for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Hurt Syndicate defend against the Gun Club. The Guns are back. They get a good reaction from the fans. And I thought they looked really good here, but it's the Hurt Syndicate, so they're always going to look the better of the two teams. But I was quite surprised at how invested this crowd was. Like from the off, you get the loud, "We hurt people, guns up, we hurt people, guns up, we hurt people." It was like they were making their own song out there. Lashley and Colton started things off. Colton tried to use his speed against Lashley. Austin Gunn tags in. He tries to use his speed as well, but he just gets knocked over by Lashley. Benjamin sent Austin into the side of the ring before tossing him into the front row. When things returned, Benjamin made a blind tag. Austin low-bridged Lashley to the outside and dropped Benjamin with a cutter. Austin leapt to tag his brother, but Colton was pulled off the apron by Lashley and rammed into the barricade. Back in the ring, Austin managed to use his speed to dodge a corner attack. Finally made the diving hot tag to Colton, who looked really good here. He gets a series of drop kicks and O'Connor roll for a near fall. Benjamin does escape from the O'Connor roll and transitions smoothly into an ankle lock, which Austin flew in to break up. An assistant blockbuster led to Benjamin being dropped with the Faymaster by Austin for a near fall. Lashley came back in and cut off the 310 to Yuma. Benjamin hits his massive thrust kick to Austin before sending Colton flying, and then he hits a series of German suplexes on Austin. Lashley followed up with a massive spine buster on Colton. Austin ate the corner pump knee from Benjamin, and then Lashley finished them off with the spear. Love the finish to this matchup, how the Hurt Business was just like, nope, we got all of our finishers saved. We're going to hit all of them in succession and just murk you guys in dominant fashion as they retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And what I thought was a good matchup. Post-match, you get the Murder Machines, Brian Cage and Lance Archer, slowly applaud the tag champs from the stage and have a stare down as MVP had to hold back Lashley from responding. What did you think about Hurt Syndicate and the Guns here?
Good match. It's still too small for Lashley. I don't care what anybody says, but it was a good match. The Guns looked deep. I don't say decent. It looked more than decent in the loss. I thought Hurt Business gave them significantly more offense than they should have. But hey, I'm trying to fit in. Do the right thing here, I guess. During Black History Month, whatever. As far as the post-match goes, I saw Brian Cage, and I went, oh, it's that guy that just lost 2 matches on Dynamite. Now
back-to-back singles matches.
Yes, now challenging for the tag team titles. That guy who just lost a 4-on-2 fight 2 weeks before that. Right. Serious threat to the Hurt Syndicate. Absolutely.
Hey, Lance Archer, he needed both Ospreay and Omega to take him out, though.
Oh, boy. This is happening fast. I hope we run through this division really fast so we can get to the dream matches, if you don't mind. Hurt Syndicate versus Takeshita fucking Fletcher. Hurt Syndicate versus Ospreay and Omega. Hurt Syndicate versus the only 2 random fucking names you'd like. Please.
Seems like FTR is going to challenge for the titles as well. They see their claim on Collision.
Awesome. So we can do FTR at the pay-per-view. We can do these 2
Revolution.
Yeah. Good. I'm good.
Yeah. Next up, we got a couple of comments here. A lot of comments here from the chat. Thanks, sir, guys. Send some love. Send some super chat donations, if you will. Is my mic all right? Do I sound okay? So I got Davion saying your mic is acting funny.
That sounds right now.
Fair enough. We got Big Man Does who says, I thought QTV was going to be a heel podcaster dirt sheet gimmick, but it was a TMZ parody.
Fucking Vince McMahon ass behind the times ass niggas. Running shit 10 years after it was fucking relevant. Good Lord.
Alexander Fitzgerald says, Hurt Syndicate making the tag division great again. They're making it better. That's for sure.
Yeah. Now, think about it, by the way. Speaking of people being behind the times, it might be billionaires in general. Did you see the Dallas owner show up at the game? He got booed. Then he sat down and went, "Is that for me?" Yeah, nigga, where you been? Where have you been? Yes.
They hate you. You traded your 25-year-old superstar. What are you talking about? And then they kicked out the fan for saying "fuck you, Nico" on the big screen.
Awesome. Good.
I mean, they deserve all of that. Anthony Davis getting injured in his first game. They literally went through the whole AD cycle in one game. Looks dominant, 26-14 in 3 quarters, and then gets injured at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Congratulations, stupid. Good Lord, AD for Luka. Imagine you traded fucking. That'd be nice. I'm so annoyed. You literally traded Tim Duncan in his prime. It didn't ask to get Kobe. You didn't ask to get Shaq. You got fucking. I don't know who would the equivalent be. I think I came up with the best
wrestling version of it, including like all the other outlier players. This Dallas Mavericks and Los Angeles Lakers, just looking at their portion, it would basically be the equivalent of AEW trading for Finn Balor, Deion Lennox, and an NIL recruit for Will Ospreay, EJ Nduka, and Lee Johnson.
Will Ospreay. Boy, you guys really love Will Ospreay. I thought it was MJF and Damian Priest before.
No, that was the guy Brian, I forget his last name, but that was another guy. That wasn't me.
Oh.
I said that one wasn't too far off. But Priest doesn't have a history of injuries. At least Balor does.
Fair enough.
We got King Potato saying Jimmy said it earlier, but Dallas fans really about to bring out the guillotines.
They are tight, as they fucking should be. There's really no excuse for this. He's younger. He's better right now. Forget when he's his age. He's better right now. He's not injury prone. He eats a little bit, but he's not injury prone. What are we doing?
Definitely not 270 pounds, though.
Insanity. Yeah, I don't believe you.
Don't believe you. You need more people. We got next up. Mariah May is backstage to talk about her AEW Women's World Championship matchup coming up at Grand Slam this Saturday. She said that Toni Storm should have died back in August. But beating her in Australia isn't the worst thing she could do. She could have Storm beat her and leave for months to make everyone realize the women's division is nothing without Mariah. May guesses that she really does love Storm, as this will be a mercy killing. I do like her slow, kind of methodical approach to promos, especially with these pre-tapes backstage.
Yeah. Mariah, she's not in a rush. She shouldn't be. I'm a star. Why would I rush? I don't see this feud. This is over.
Yeah, this feels like the blow off. I think the most you could do is stip match at Revolution. That's it.
Jesus, no. We're dragging this corpse to the paper for the fucking Grand Slam. That's it. This thing died while my fucking Toni Storm was doing whatever the fuck she was doing, wherever the fuck she was doing it.
Hey, she got it back. She got it back to me. The reveal and the Mariah May cosplay last week.
The reveal that made no sense. And what Mariah May? Mariah May was dope. I don't know that. Mariah May was great. The Mariah May impersonation was great.
Alexander Fitzgerald says that going to have to start running smaller venues like AEW soon. That was great. That's great. We got to move out of American. We got to move out of American Airlines. Start running. What building do you run, Tony?
Right? Put 5,000 people in here. to watch fucking Kyrie Irving and a bunch of bums.
Man, it feels like 2 years ago again, where they're not going to make the play-in even after the big trade.
That shit.
Colt and Switchblade are out for our main event segment of the show. They came to the ring with Cope holding the briefcase. They swiped earlier. Cope says the crowd chanted for them to open it and says that it's been months since the AEW World Title has actually been seen on TV since Wrestle Dream in October. Cope said that he has a better idea and brings out the spike, the nail-covered board. And I was so confused. I was like, so what's the point? Are you trying to destroy the title?
Right?
What? Cope says that she's pretty hungry and said that if Jon Moxley doesn't come out, he's gonna smash it. Moxley walks out. He walks out to the ring from the crowd, said that Cope thinks that he doesn't care about the AEW title. He or the people don't know jack shit about the AEW World Title. Moxley has left pieces of his soul in that ring for the AEW World Title and what it represents, as he's the protector and its shepherd. At Revolution, Adam Copeland gets his matchup, and he's going to break Copeland's neck and agreed to Cope's challenge for a title match at the pay-per-view. Cope said that's what he wanted, but he's still going to show how much he cares about the AEW World Title, and he starts smashing the briefcase with Spike. How the fuck does that make sense? You care about it so much, you're going to destroy it. Wheeler Yuta hits the ring, but he gets beat. He gets laid out with the Blade Runner. Castagnoli hits the ring and brawls with a Switchblade to the floor. Pac tries to sneak in behind Cope, but he stops him with the spike. Marina Shafir slides in and grabs the briefcase. Moxley attacks Cope from behind. They put the boots to him, Pac and Mox, until Cope hits Pac with the spear. Brawls with Moxley until Claudio comes in. Tried a charging uppercut, but was planted with the Blade Runner. Moxley took Spike and was daring to hit Switchblade with it when Cope hits him with the spear as well. And both Cope and Jay White stand tall, laying out all 5 members of the Death Riders on their own. I was like, they don't even care about the Death Riders anymore. It's like y'all got beat up by 2 guys. And it is official. It will be at Revolution, AEW World Title on the grind. Rated R Superstar Cope challenges the champion, Jon Moxley. And of course, we got this Saturday, AEW Grand Slam Australia, Cope and Switchblade versus the Death Riders. What did you think about this closing segment?
Okay. I want to be clear about this. Make sure I understand. Because I think they've also got lost in the sauce. Mm-hmm. Moxley has taken the belt and put it in the briefcase. He has said consistently that the belt is not what makes a champion. It's not something you fucking win. It's not something you even earn. It's what you are and built and all this other shit. So now he desperately gives a fuck that they have it and that they're smashing it. Edge, who wants to free it from these fucking people, doesn't open a fucking briefcase, doesn't show it to us, and instead he loves it so fucking much, he's going to smash it with this atrocity of a thing, which looks like a cartoon-ass weapon.
And if you're bringing out Spike, the intention should not be to destroy it. It should be to use it to break the lock, to open it. Like, that means you don't stand it up on its face. You stand it up on its side, and you just hit that side where the lock is at, and that's how you open it. That makes more sense than what you did.
Best part of this is Jay White being held off by something. I forgot what it was. But somebody's holding him off, and he just like puts his arms out, like, "Yeah, go ahead, and fucking do it." And then Edge hits the spear. I forgot what happened to bring.
It was Mox. It was Mox with Spike. It was like, just
it was hard. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, that's dope.
His promo work has been great too. Saying he's gonna leave a pool of blood for the last true king. He's carrying this shit.
Jay White's fucking great, but this whole thing is impossibly stupid. It's kind of Tony Khan's booking only once. Sometimes it's dumb, sometimes it's boring, sometimes it makes no sense. There's never anything at once. I'm always shocked how diverse this is. I don't understand. I also understand why Jay White is okay with Edge taking his title shot at all. I feel like a triple threat match would have been the easiest way to go. And if Mox was a genius, he'd make it a triple threat match.
It makes me feel Switchblade
Turn?
is going to cost Cope. He's going to cost Cope this title match at Revolution.
I did get that vibe.
I got that vibe. Like I was like, they're way too friendly, and this is like so against everything Jay White is about. He's too much of an egomaniac. Let Cope just win the title.
I'm not against it. I mean, Jay White is.
I'm not against it either because it makes sense from what we know about Switchblade.
Yeah. Listen, Jay White against Edge. That's a high spot for Jay White too. But
yeah.
Boy. This thing can't die quick enough death. Fucking speaking of death, when's Darby coming back?
But can we please the best we can do at this point, if you're going to continue with this angle, is either after Revolution or I would do it after Grand Slam this Saturday. Omega and Ospreay need to be a part of this picture so bad to give it some hope. Some hope. I feel like the fans are just so disengaged because they have no hope for Cope. They see that Switchblade is being positioned as number 2. They would have hope for him, but he's being clearly positioned as number 2 to Cope. So you need some number 1s into here, and that's Omega and Ospreay.
I don't need any hope. I just need it to be over. I don't need you to take me on a ride. Just end it. Listen, you can still do the Darby returns and fucks up Moxley thing just without the belt. Please and thank you.
Christian's got the contract. He's got the contract still. I mean, they could do the booking that I said a couple of weeks ago of Cope wins at Revolution and Christian cashes in.
Yeah, we're gonna combine all these into one. Fucking Edge beats Moxley. How? Who knows? Then Jay White turns on him because I want the belt you got now. Then Christian comes out. I'll take it from here.
And that works with the whole Christian and Jay White feud that we had previously.
Oh, right. That's a good point. But I'd be honest, at this point, I do feel like it's a failed cash in for Christian.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say nobody wants to see that. I wouldn't mind that. I don't think it's going to be a 6-month reign. I don't even think it's going to be a 3-month reign. I think it's going to be a month and a half, 2 months, and he drops it to Omega or Darby.
Yeah, I can see that. Get some fun TV main events out of Christian and then send him on his way.
Yeah. But let us know in the chat what you think this Death Rider story needs or what they should do outside of just ending it, because that seems like the most logical and number one thing to do. But let's see if anybody else has some interesting ways to kind of get people back invested in this. Let us know in the comments down below. Everyone in the chat joining us live. Final call for super chat donations today. We got Chuck Berries in the chat who says, what are the chances that Luther turns on Titus?
Not high. I don't think.
Yeah,
I think it's a clean win.
Yeah, that's what needs to happen at Grand Slam on Saturday. Louis saying 8 stars in the Outback, talking about Harley Cameron and Mercedes Moné. There you go. But like a lot of stuff to look forward to on Saturday. And what this was a pretty good show of wrestling television. So let us know in the chat your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP. Out of 10, what did you give the show? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle for me and Jimmy. For the February 12th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Jimmy, out of 10, what did you give the show?
7. Passable. Not very enjoyable, but passable.
Those parts that were enjoyable for me, but the issues are clear. It's Death Riders. It's the learning tree. Those things aren't going to work week after week and can sometimes drag the show down. And I think it did that on this week. But I still give the show 7.5 out of 10 because the stuff that really hit for me. And mostly this show had 4 different segments centered around one feud that I think is working very well right now. MJF and Hangman. So when it has that much, it carries the show. So I gave it a 7. Jimmy, what was your match of the night?
Oi. I'm actually going to go with MJF and Dustin. At least I was invested in that fucking match. The other few were good, but you know what's going to happen. Go on.
Yeah, I would say Undisputed Kingdom versus Death Riders was the one that exceeded my expectations the most, but the one I enjoyed the most was probably MJF and Dustin. I really enjoyed that one. I love the reversal and the stories of the matchup as well. We got Louis, who's giving it a solid 7.5. Ace is with you, giving it a 7. We got Power Driver Finisher as well as Davion, who gives it 7.5. Big Man Dolls goes 7.5. And thank you so much to Power Driver Finisher for sending us yet another super chat donation. I got to give 3 bumpers for our last 3. So here's to you.
You don't know shit.
That's for King Potato. Insanity.
Killer, but don't push me. That's Tupac.
And finally,
Listen up, you prick.
thank you guys. Thank you, Power Driver Finisher. Thank you, Louisville. Thank you, Chuck Berries, for your support. Always appreciate you guys in the chat during this during AEWramble with us. King Potato giving it 8 out of 10. Big Man Dogs agrees with us. MJF and Dustin for match of the night. And we also got Power Driver Finisher says match of the night, the trios match, MVP Harley, Joe and Hanger and MJF, LVP Jericho. Jimmy, what was your MVP?
I'm going with MJF. When MJF is on, the show's watchable. It just is. When he's cooking, the show is 7 or up usually.
Can't agree more. It's MJF for me this week. He had the strong promo backstage with Hangman, had a really good matchup with Dustin, and the pull apart brawl was probably the most crowd reaction that we got the whole night. So it's got to be him. I would give it co-MVP to Hanger, but I felt like MJF had the stronger matchup of the two, so give it to him. LVP for the show, Jimmy.
Tony Khan, welcome back. It's been a while. Not just Death Riders, but the atrocious treatment of Willow. I probably should not even give the show a fucking 7. But you know what? It's neither here nor there. The fuck are we doing? Good Lord. Thank you, old nudie. Appreciate it. I'm supposed to put some class in this bitch. Good Lord.
I would give it to Tony Khan, but I'm sorry. When someone uses something that worked on one show and tries to do it and tries to amp it up and overbooks it to hell, it makes it in my worst segment of the show. It's got to be Chris Jericho. Back to Jericho. It's been a while, Jericho. It's been a while. We got Big Man Dog saying the 4 Boormen, Death Riders. And we got Ace who says MJF. Louis says Hanger. So good episode this week once again from AEW Dynamite. Grand Slam, rapid fire predictions from Jimmy Macram. Timeless Tony Storm versus Mariah May.
Tony.
Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher.
I'm gonna go with Fletcher and them. It's his hometown, right? Or whatever, home country.
Death Riders versus Cope and Switchblade.
Oh my god. Cope and Switchblade.
And finally, there's Kazuchika. Oh no, 2 more. Yeah, 2 more. No, yeah, 2 more matches. I just forgot that there's 5 matches. Kazuchika Okada versus Buddy Matthews.
Come on, man. What are we doing? You gonna do this every time, buddy? Knock it off. It's over.
And then the big one, Mercedes Moné versus Harley Cameron, TBS Championship. Where's your prediction gonna go?
Sorry, Harley. As you've seen with Willow, being good at your job does not mean you're gonna get pushed. So, Mercedes over Harley.
I will give my predictions on the card tomorrow. We got our preview of AEW Grand Slam Australia as well as NXT Vengeance Day, a dual preview for y'all. Join us live for that tomorrow at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be myself and Corey Brennan of Fightful Select talking about both big cards for this coming Saturday. Thank you to Jimmy for joining me today. Let everybody know where they can follow you.
On Twitter. I just had to shit on Cash for taking a shot at Willow and the poor selling job she did on Dynamite. I told him to sit back and watch his Luca-less, Cuban-less, AD-less, soon to be Kyrie-less ass mask. Shut the fuck up.
Did he even respond to that?
He went, that hurt.
I've been wondering. I have to mind a message and be like, "You all right?" But I felt like that would be like me.
Yeah. Oh, he is not pleased. He has sent me reams and reams of text messages. Oh, good Lord. I don't care that much. You care, not me. Lord.
Reams and reams.
Ugh.
Well, we got some more content for you to enjoy. I'll be back live on Saturday as well, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here, and thank you for helping us hit 21,000 subscribers this week. But for Jimmy Macram, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been AEWramble, episode 185, from Old Men to Hangman. We are signing off until next time.